Welcome back to another episode of the Personal Opinion Podcast. It's Lauryn and Whitney.
It's Whitney and Lauren.
And we are back, and it is St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Yay!
Drink a green beverage.
Wear green or get pinched.
I feel like we should let the viewers know that whenever we recorded this, it was not St. Patrick's Day. We currently pre-record. I know, it's terrible. Our end goal is to not do that. We want to make sure that we're giving you guys super up-to-date content. Currently, we have really busy schedules, so
You're telling me it's not St. Patrick's Day today?
But when they see it, it will be.
Yes.
I'm loving what's going on right now. I love St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
I love it. I don't know why.
Never have I ever even worried about wearing green.
Really? I do it every year. Have to.
That's great.
You have to wear green.
I love that.
Even if it's just on your socks.
I'm joining the passion.
So, anyways.
All right. Let's get into today's episode.
Today, we're going to be talking about going into new things and it being really scary and fearing how it's going to turn out. Any time I move my head.
If you guys cannot see us and you're listening on our Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
right,
etc. Anyways, but I have green sunglasses on.
And I have this cute little headband with 2 4-leaf clovers that are just bouncing around.
So all you're going to see the whole video is Whitney's ears moving.
I love it. I'm loving it.
Anyways, so we came up with today's...
Take us seriously, guys. This is a really serious topic.
We came up with today's episode just because we're both in that series where we're entering new chapters.
Yeah.
And
a lot of our friends are entering new chapters too.
Yes, yeah.
With moving states, with starting new jobs, with graduating, with entering new relationships, all of that is kind of going on in our lives. I feel like that's your 20s in a nutshell, is starting over, starting a new life.
Which is great.
Baby adults.
Yeah. That's us.
I was talking about this yesterday, how I was like, I've only been out of college for 7 months? I'm still a baby.
It's been that long?
I'm a 7-month-old. Yeah, May would be 6 months, and then January's, So 7 or 8 months. I'm an 8-month-old adult child.
But just babies.
I'm just a baby. But anyways, it's scary to start new things, and I think, so this kind of came up for me because I'm going into my new job. And I have no idea I have an idea of what to expect, but every time that I start something new, whether it be like going into college or starting a new job, I get really excited about it. And then right before, I get super, super nervous and anxious and like, what if I don't do well? What if I don't, whatever. Yeah. And usually the first or second day there, or not even that, whenever I was working at my last job, the first hour that I was in my new job, I was like, oh, I'm going to be fine. I literally just need to be there and experience 1 hour of whatever it is to be like, oh, it's not as huge as I was expecting. And I'm chilling. But
always.
I don't know what's coming up in your brain right now.
I'm just thinking about how it can be scary.
Absolutely.
Like to ultimately fear the unknown. I think just hard. It is. Yeah. Like you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what to expect.
Not knowing how things are going to turn out.
Right. Right.
So, one of the things that's been really helping me in the last few months is realizing I've been nervous and scared about so many different things and I'm fine.
Right.
I've always gotten through every new thing that's come up.
Yeah.
I've always been fine. I've always gotten through it. I haven't died yet. And I'm still here.
Yeah.
So that helps me. I don't know. Maybe that'll help you.
Love that.
Just realize that you're fine.
Right. It's just like if you're going to a new school and you go and it's your first day.
First day of new school?
First day of new school. That's always terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I have like every single year, I didn't eat lunch like the first 4 days of school because I had so much social anxiety.
Aww.
I just wasn't hungry. Like, I was enjoying it, but it was just like starting a new year, starting something new, new classes, new teachers, all that jazz made me like just very anxious.
Yeah.
And so I had to get used to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't even feel bad for me. Stop that. It's part of life.
You know what's crazy is that there are people that move like 20 times in their lifetime.
Yeah, I know.
And so I wonder how they are different when they approach new situations. Like when they are going into a new job or something, if they approach it the same way that we do. Like my aunt moved, I think, 17 times in her life.
Wow.
She lived in 17 different homes, attended like 17 different schools. So when she's starting a new job, like, I don't know, she's been through it. She knows how to uproot her life and start somewhere new.
I've lived in the same house for 23 years.
I have lived in the same square mile for the last 23 years.
Yeah, literally. So,
Widowy.
I knew you were going to freaking do that. I did that to my brother last night.
Really?
Yeah. I thought about you.
Thank you.
Anyway, so yeah, I feel like it can just be scary. I don't even know how to explain it sometimes. Like,
well, and I think our brain, anytime we're approaching those like new situations, where we play everything up in our brains, right? Like everything. When I think about conversations I'm going to have with people, or when I'm thinking about my job or whatever it is, like I always build it up to be this really big event or this really big conversation or whatever it is, and then you get there and it's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's not that big.
No, seriously.
Like, we build things up to be these cinematic movies, basically. Like, our life is a movie, and then we get into whatever it is. And
I'm also, like, an ultimate planner.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like, oh, yeah. So, for instance, like, tomorrow's my first day on the job. Like, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. None of that happens.
Right.
Like, I feel like I can plan everything out, but in reality, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, I have to train these girls today. This is my plan. I write out plans for each one.
Yeah.
Right? And then I don't follow it at all.
I love that.
Yeah.
Especially from a training aspect, because sometimes you'll get in there and be like, okay, I think I know what like they want to work on, so these are the drills I'm going to put them through.
Yeah.
After the first drill, you recognize something and you're like, we need to fix that, so we're actually going to do something completely different.
Exactly. And then I wrote it up. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep it for next time.
Yeah, or like if I have someone else, I get it.
Yeah.
That doesn't quite work when you're moving to a new state, though. You know?
No.
You can't just save that plan for another time.
Are you moving to a new state?
No, I'm not. I will say, when I moved into my apartment, that was probably the most stressful week of my entire life.
Really?
So bad. If you've moved a lot, I
commend you.
I commend you for being able to do all that comes with moving. It's not for me.
No.
Not for me.
I hate it.
Especially because, like, this was my first time setting up, like, the water bill, the energy bill, like, all of that. And
baby adults, baby.
It was so... And here's the worst part. Okay, we're going to get into a story time. So whenever we moved into our apartment, we had to turn on the water. We moved on a Sunday, or like our move-in date was a Sunday. And I was like, okay, perfect, great, cool. Well, then the water wasn't actually turned on that Sunday, and the apartment wouldn't let us in because they couldn't double check that things were working because the water wasn't turned on.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't move in. I couldn't turn on the water. I had to wait. We then did not have the keys for our apartment. We had to push back moving day. We had to push back movers. Oh, it was so bad.
That's rough.
It was so bad.
That's rough.
Sorry. That was just my little story time.
I feel like, I don't know. Like, I hate, sometimes, the fear of the unknown, like, holds me back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is so scary
to
chase your dreams.
Yeah.
So scary to chase your dreams.
When they talk about that leap of faith, they talk about that leap of faith.
Yeah. And it's so hard because, like, sometimes you're so passionate about something and you want it to go so well that it's almost like crippling.
Yeah.
So when you think about, like, us starting a podcast or opening a business or whatever whatever that dream of yours is, like, it can be so scary to start it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you want it to go well.
Yeah. I mean, like,
you want to succeed.
Before Whitney and I started this podcast, like, we sat down for hours, like, trying to plan everything.
Yeah.
And trying to have everything perfect and all figured out. But in reality, you don't have to have it all figured out.
Not at all.
Like, we sat down in this microphone and we're like, wow. And then that's when all the ideas start flowing.
Yeah.
Of what we can talk about, where we're going to have it, what we can do for a backdrop, just different stuff like that starts flowing.
And that's the thing is, like, we really didn't get into the nitty gritty of how this was going to all work until we actually just did it.
Right.
Like,
right.
We had that one night at that one restaurant that, you know what I'm talking about, that we, I think, spent 2 or 3 hours there, like, going through a whole document and getting everything ready. But in actuality, most of the progress that we've made has been from the date that we started filming.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, I'm just that type of person that I want to have my own business one day. Like, I want to do that. I want to be my own boss.
Yeah.
And I think you're like that too.
Yeah.
And I asked this one lady one time who owns a business what her advice would be to, like, a person who wants to be a business owner.
Yeah.
And she said, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I said, what do you mean? Like, no, like, I have to have it. I have to know what it's like. Like, I don't know. The unknown, right?
No, like, give me actual advice.
Yeah, like,
tell me what to do.
Like, do I need to file something?
Do I need to plan more? Do I need to, yeah.
And she literally was like, just do it.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Well,
just get into it and you got to flow through it and learn through it.
I think we get so stuck in that dreaming and planning place because we get to imagine what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to synthesize that. I'm trying to, like, make that into, I'm trying to get my thoughts into how I want to communicate them. But, like, when you're sitting and thinking about what do I want my business or my podcast or my career to look like, you get to be in that dreaming place of imagining everything that it could be. Mm-hmm. Whereas once you start, you're in the nitty gritty. Yeah. And I think that's why we sometimes get so stuck is because we just want to picture how amazing it's going to be whenever we've made it. But all the work that goes into it is hard.
No, seriously.
And stressful, and it can be a lot. And then you feel like, oh, well, I wanted it to be everything. Like, I wanted it to be everything, and now I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah. Like, I still have so much work to do, and I think that can be why we get stuck in that dreaming place.
Yeah, and I think, like, it's almost kind of like, oh, well, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't meet my expectation? Yeah. What if this? What if? But what if it does?
Yeah.
Like, what if it does work? What if it's a home run? What if an idea that you had of an invention that you decided to keep in your head could have gone on Shark Tank, the greatest show of all time?
Right.
And like, you could have made it into something big, but it's just fearing that that it's not going to work is holding people back, and the fear of, I don't know what comes with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what it's like to have that much money. I don't know, like, certain things about that. And it's just like, I don't know anything about technology.
Well, and I think that's one of the best things, like, small business owners that I know, one of the best things about them is they're constantly learning and evolving their business and changing and switching lanes and redirecting their goals or whatever it is, because that's what it takes to be successful.
Yeah.
Is starting and running with it. And when things start to not work, you redirect. You go a different way.
Right.
You find a new path.
Yeah. You adapt. Yeah. I think that's another thing that I struggle with is adaptability. I think I've gotten better with it over the last couple of years. But I just, like, there's been a lot of times where I've just haven't put my feet in the water, like, in multiple different ways, just because I just
get comfortable.
Yes. And I just didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to adapt to certain environments. Like, or I would have figured it out, but I didn't know what was going to come of it, or, like, I didn't know how that fit in my plan. And so it was just like, then just don't do it. and you sit in your comfortable spot.
Yeah.
It's like everybody else.
Comfortability is so easy.
It is.
It's easy.
And adaptability is hard.
It is. Because it requires change.
Yes. Yeah.
And change is very difficult.
It is.
Change is hard.
New chapters of life.
Yeah.
Did you say stuff about your new job?
A little bit, yeah. I told them that whenever we recorded this, I haven't started it yet, and that's how the conversation started. Yeah.
When it's released, though.
I will, I'll be there, and I'll be just rocking and rolling.
Rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
But what do you think is going to be the hardest thing for you as far as adapting, or what is something that you've battled with yourself about, a fear or...
I think I am placing really high expectations on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think my biggest fear is not living up to like what I'm picturing it to be or the success that I'm imagining I will have.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my biggest thing. I honestly, just from the little time that I've spent talking with like my future managers and just seeing the environment that they're in, like I think it's going to be an amazing culture for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to provide a lot of opportunities for growth, and I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be really, really great.
Yeah.
I just want to succeed so badly, and I think that's where the anxiety is coming from, is that like I want to show up and be a rock star, and I want to be besties with everyone, and I want like all of that. And so
it's just the process of getting there.
Yeah. It's just these next few days before I start are going to be rough because I'm going to like, and I think that it comes from an excitement too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of just like, okay, like I'm ready. Like almost like, and my former assistant coach would use this every now and then whenever we were talking about anxiety before like a big game and stuff like that, was you're like a racehorse, and you know how before races, I don't know if you like watch races, but before races, whenever they're all behind their doors, like they're kicking. And I think that is very similar to that anxiety before something new. Like you're kicking, you're ready for that race. You're ready for that horn. Like it's that anxiety, that buildup of like, I'm ready to go. And, so as soon as that horn blares, like that's when you're off. And so I think that's what I'm feeling right now, is that ready to get into it, but I have to just sit back and wait for my first day.
I actually relate a lot to that because I feel like I'm in the same boat without actually having a job in place. Like I'm just excited for what's next.
Yeah.
Like I'm like bring it on. Like let's go. Like I'm ready for a new chapter. And then, but I don't really have anything to start yet.
Yeah.
It's just like that not fear, that feeling of like, good.
That knowing that something is coming. Good things are coming.
Yes, like knowing that my next
endeavor,
is going forward. I'm continuing on. I'm continuing forward. I'm not saying where I'm at. I'm, going somewhere else. I'm getting a new job. I'm doing this. I'm getting older. I'm working on moving out. Like different stuff like that. I'm just so like, there's so much built up. Like I wonder where life is going to take me next.
Yeah.
Like it's like you said, you're just like kicking behind that door.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, and we talked about it a lot in the sports world of like, so yes, we feel that readiness and excitement, but whenever it turns into anxiety, it's the same thing, just showing itself differently. Yeah. And so one of the things that she talked to us about was when you're feeling those nerves before a big game, that's just your body telling you that it's ready. And that's also your brain telling you that this is important to you. And so we need to focus on it a lot. And that's not a bad thing at all. And it's just something that we have to learn how to reframe when we feel that anxiety or that fear of what's coming next. It's not a bad thing. It's just your body telling you that it's important to you, and it's something that you want. And so being able to reframe that anxiety into something positive is unbelievably helpful when entering new situations and new spaces.
Amen.
Thanks. That felt really impactful.
No, that is good because it's just, there's so much like, I also feel like there's such a, and we don't have to get deep into this, but there's such like a negative anxiety connotation. Like, just like, oh, anxiety, this is holding this person back, or doing this, but in reality, like it sometimes it could be preparing you for something.
Yeah.
It could be pushing you to do something. It could just be your body reacting to something that's important to you, and that's how you know, like, the emotion and everything that that gets into it. And for us, it would be like competitiveness and how it would be in sports and jobs, and if we're competing against other people, like, it's just like, did I get the job or not?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, like,
Yeah.
damn it, like, did I get the spot or not?
Yeah.
And so I think, like, it's kind of fun. Looking back on it, obviously, in the moment, sometimes it's like, why am I feeling this way? Like, my heart's beating a million miles a minute. Like, but in reality, it's, like, really fun to feel that afterwards because it makes everything worth it.
Yeah.
And it makes everything that much more important that you were able to slow your mind down and able to get through what you needed to go through, and also prepare yourself for the next step. Like, God put you in this place for a reason, and if you're going to take steps forward, then you're ready for those.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Anxiety can also, we talked about this in my psych classes a lot. Anxiety is not always bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and part of the way that they would explain this is if you're getting ready for a test or if you've got homework and like a little bit of anxiety is really, really good, because if you didn't experience any anxiety, you would never study, you would never get your homework done, you would never turn stuff in on time. That anxiety is what actually drives us to do things. And now when it's taking over us and we need to seek help, that's one thing. But that little bit of anxiety or that little bit of spur, that little hitch in your get up, what does my mom say? A little burr in your saddle. Like, that can be a really good thing. I'm a Southerner right now. Yeah. My mom's Texan is coming out right now. But yeah, that little burr in your saddle, that little anxiety of like needing to do something is actually really good because it makes us do it.
It's true.
But,
wow. That's why I save all my assignments for the last minute. Because then my anxiety gets me through. Then I get it done super fast.
If you wait till the last minute to do it, it only takes you a minute to do it.
Yeah.
That's a terrible phrase to live. Don't live by that.
No.
Please don't live by that.
No.
That's not advice. What are we doing?
Who could live by that?
If the guy who invented St. Patty's Day glasses and headbands didn't actually run with his or her idea and make it into a business, where would we be? Not here. I'm losing it.
That's good. How do you feel like anxiety, or I guess like the fear of the unknown or anything like that, has been a part of your relationships? I mean, friendships, relationships, whatever.
Like right now? We're going to cut that.
Okay.
Wait, okay, ask me one more time. Wait, I need to have an answer.
Okay. You don't have to. 3, 2, 1. So how do you feel like anxiety or like feel of the unknown has been portrayed like in your relationships? It could be friendships, romantic, whichever, family relationships.
I think I'm going to go back to like that feeling of, oh, my life is a movie, so everything's going to go the way that I want it to, and having this big expectation and then being let down because relationships involve humans and humans make mistakes and they're not what you picture them or imagine them to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's probably where I would go with that, is like that hesitation to even start relationships because what if it doesn't go the way that I want it to?
Right.
Or whatever that may look like.
I think I asked that because I just feel like there's some people out there that might be in a relationship or might have friends that may not be the best for them, but they fear not having them. Like, they fear the unknown. Like, that's all they're used to.
Yeah.
Or that's all that they can remember their life being is with that person or with those friends. And I just was curious to ask you because I feel like the fear of like, oh, who am I going to hang out with?
Yeah.
Oh, is this person right for me in the long run? It, like, how does that, like, that makes people feel like they have to almost be trapped in a box. and they can't release those people because they fear what their life would be like without them, or they fear like replacing them or something like that.
And I think that's one of the really hard things about relationships is being able to recognize when you need to step away.
Yeah.
Because we can't let that fear decapitate. We can't let that fear debilitate us and not let us move forward. But yeah, I think that's a fear that a lot of people struggle with is like,
what am I going to do without that person?
And I spend 30 hours a week with this person. Like, when they're not with me, everything's going to change. There's going to be so much change. Like, I'm going to be so alone. You're never really alone.
Yeah. True. I think, like, for me, sometimes it's just a lot of, like, thinking. You know, like, you think about all these scenarios, and you put yourself in all these scenarios, and you want to think that you know what's right and wrong for you, and to me, there is no right or wrong, right? There's always learning opportunities. Mic check 1, 2.
I did.
And I think, like, I forgot. I lost my train of thought now.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You were saying that learning opportunities.
Yes. Everything's a learning opportunity, and you don't have to have everything thought out and planned out, and life's not going to go how it's like how you think it should go, or, you know, all of that. Like, there's stuff out there that's meant for you, and if that means you're put in a position you never thought you would ever be in, or you get the raise you never thought you would get, you apply for the job and you somehow get the job you were halfway qualified for, like, it's just stuff like that that's fun about the unknown. Like, I'm going to flip it now. Like, there's some stuff that's just so exciting about experiencing new things and experiencing new people and meeting new people and being a part of a community that you never thought you would be a part of, or joining a church you never thought you would join, going to a college that you never thought you would go to, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, because my entire career, I was like, I'm not going to this school.
Right.
And then
in the backyard.
And then my junior year, I was like, oh yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, like this is home. This is where I need to be.
Right.
And that shift is one of the best decisions I ever made. Because it gave me my best friends. It gave me an amazing volleyball career. It gave me a degree. Let's go. Let's go, baby. One thing that you said about applying for jobs that you're not necessarily qualified for, women are less likely to apply for jobs that they don't meet all the requirements than men.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. But I will say, if you are job hunting and you apply for everything, if it's something that you want and something you think you would be good at, then apply. Worst thing that'll happen is you'll get an email that says no.
Yeah.
And then you can keep looking. Takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless you adjust your resume per job. And in which case, kudos to you. I didn't do that, but kudos to you.
Yeah. That's good advice.
I'm on Career Talk right now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. We both are.
You are?
Wait, what?
Career Talk? Like TikTok for, like, but careers?
Oh. No.
Oh.
I'm on Tate McRae TikTok.
Oh my God.
Her new album just came out.
I, for some reason, am now on...
Oh, gosh.
Mr. Beast Thirst Talk.
Oh, no. No. Oh,
I think the reason they keep popping up is because, like, one showed up and I was like, that's weird. And I liked it and sent it to a friend.
There we go. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's crazy how it can just shift like that overnight.
You like one TikTok and your entire algorithm is now that.
And now that's all you see.
So.
Anyways.
But. Where were we? There was something else you brought up earlier that I wanted to talk about. It got my mind thinking. And now I can't remember what you said.
Relationship?
No. Maybe.
You're right. Anyways. Oh, I flipped it positive. I did. You remember that? 5 minutes ago?
What do you mean you flipped it positive?
I said, I'm going to flip it. Like, have fun with the unknown.
Oh,
Like, it's a good thing. That's what I said.
Yeah, you did say that.
Anyways. But I think, like, the biggest thing that you can do is not close yourself in a box. Like, be open-minded, be willing to learn, be willing to not just shut your mind to one thing. Because, like, obviously, this is another thing. People don't use their degrees a lot of the times.
Facts.
So people want to learn about something and then get into something completely different.
Facts.
So I feel like that's a sense of the unknown, just feeling a passion for something that you want to learn about and go to school for, and then you completely have a career shift.
Yeah, I did that, kind of. Well, because I changed my minor because I took one psych class, and I was like, this is what I want.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah, I changed my minor. I didn't actually talk. I should have talked to my coach, and I should have talked to my advisor, but I didn't. I just changed it.
That's okay.
Yeah. They like warned us and was like, don't do that. And I did. And it worked out well. I mean, it all went the way it needed to, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow your passions. If like.
Take the leap of faith.
Take the leap of faith into the unknown. Period. My mom was singing that earlier. Can we talk about Moana 2? Please?
Yeah, I just don't have good comprehension of that. We went to go see it together.
Yeah. And afterwards, we had such a good talk about it.
We did.
Yes.
Now I can't remember.
Because there's the one song where she's like, oh, you don't need to know the way to find it.
Yes.
Yes. And we were talking about that and how, like, that's so applicable when you're in your 20s.
I should have listened to it right
you don't need
this.
to know. Should I just pull up the song? I won't.
No. It's okay.
But, like, if you haven't seen Moana 2, you need to. It's one of my favorite movies now that we watched it. And anytime that I need to pick me up now, it's one of my go-tos. Second only to Legally Blonde. But she talks about, she's like, oh, sweetie, like, you don't need to know the way. You just go. Like, you find it as you go.
You just go out and explore and find the way.
Yes. You don't need to know how to get somewhere.
Yeah. Oh. I wish I knew that. Remember that song? I remember we were watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't
loose and lose your way.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the one lady who looks like a bat.
Yeah.
She's got the fangs.
She looks like a bat. I think when we were watching that movie, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk to you about this.
And you get to pave your own way.
Yeah.
You get to find things out. Again, back to that, like, being able to pivot and being adaptable. You don't need to know exactly what your life is going to look like to know that it's going to be spectacular.
Go out on a limb and get out there. That's what I took from that song.
Get out there.
Get out there.
No, but it is. It's so cool. Like, I don't know a single person that made their life plan when they were in their 20s and stuck to it.
And followed all of it.
And I think that's so cool.
That's just not how life goes, even though I try to make it that way.
I know. And we all want it. We all want things to go the exact way that we plan them perfectly. But it doesn't.
Yeah. I don't have it.
Do you want to switch?
No.
For the outro?
No.
Oh, me neither.
Okay. Are we done?
Are you done? I think we could. I like.
I feel like
we recap.
I shared. Ultimately, don't be afraid and just get out there. That's my recap.
My recap is life's not going to be perfect.
Nope.
And
you don't have to have everything figured out.
You don't have to have everything figured out. And okay, I've used this a lot with my younger girls when they're talking about like their anxiety or feeling like everything's going wrong and they don't know what's coming next. I first calm them down. I speed up with their. Okay. I saw this. Okay, we'll talk about that.
I feel like your mind just went all over.
It did. But I sit them down. I'm like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I know that in here, in our heart, we're feeling a lot of really big things, and it feels really heavy, and we don't know what's coming next, and we're feeling all this anxiety. I'm like, that's okay. We just need to know up here that everything's going to turn out the way that it needs to, and that we're going to be okay. It might not feel in here like we're going to be okay, but we need to know it in here. And I think that that's really powerful. Even though I mostly say it to 14 and 15-year-olds, it's still applicable for 20-year-olds, and I still have to tell myself that.
Yeah.
You gotta look yourself in the mirror. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna experience things. That's the part of growth, is being uncomfortable. And being able to be uncomfortable means taking that leap of, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the biggest takeaway is just the fear of the unknown can hold you back from something that you know is meant for you.
Yeah.
Or that you should do. You should go after this dream. You could do this. You're more than capable of doing this. Like, go out and do it and just see what happens. Like, you only live once.
Yeah. I was thinking about that today.
Where are you?
I only get one life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna absolutely get everything I possibly can out of it.
Experience everything.
And surround yourself with people who are pushing you towards that. Surround yourself with people who you feel comfortable enough to be like, oh, I'm scared of what's happening, but like, I'm going to do it. And they want everything for you, and they want to push you towards it, and they want to support you in it, and they want to be there for you when you fail, when you succeed. One of the things that Lauren and I say, have we talked about that we say it, but I don't think we've explained it to them, to the viewers.
That we got your back?
Yes.
We haven't.
After every episode, Lauren and I say we've got your back. And the reason that we say that is because I think it's such a powerful phrase, because it means, at least for me, and I'll let you kind of explain your perspective, but for me, it means whether you fail, whether you succeed, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether people are on your side or not, I've got your back. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the really cool things about our relationship is we've gone through the highs and lows together. Yeah. But we've always got each other's backs. Doesn't matter what's going on in our lives. Doesn't matter what's coming next.
Mm-hmm. I think, 100%. I would say that that's most of what I think about it too. I think another thing is just like, I am 10 toes behind you wherever you want to go. Like, literally, I've got your back. Like, if you fall backwards, I'll catch you. If you go forward, I will gladly run right behind you. Yeah. So I think, like, that's the big thing too. And also, I kind of take what I've got your back as even behind my back, like when nobody else is watching. And like, you are always going to have that person's best interest.
I didn't even think about that part.
Like, I just think, like, if somebody
is
or
bad
something,
mouthing you,
yes, or like just something is not going well, or you have a thought that, like, this person, for instance, I'll use us as an example. Like, if I feel like Whitney, if I see something maybe she doesn't, then, like, I want her to trust that I'm gonna tell her, for her benefit, and know that, like, I have her best interests in mind. Yeah. So, like, everything that you said plus everything that I said is what goes through my mind, like, when we say, I've got your back.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. And I think, like, it's very, we don't just say it, right? We have our meanings. Yeah. And also, like, it's a trust factor of everything we just said. Like, every single day we go through this time and we, like, prove it. Yeah. Like, there's been some instances, like, these past couple weeks where I'm like, Whitney, like, thank you for listening. Like, thank you for listening. I really just needed to get off my chest. Like, I can't believe this happened, whatever. And she's like, of course, like, I'm always going to have your back. Like, it's always proven through action. It's always proven through words. It's always proven, like, even through just listening with no words and just head bobbles. It's not just something that we take lightly. And I think, like, we've needed that in our lives more now than ever. Yeah. Because we are taking this leap into the unknown, but it feels like there's a pact with us. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter if we go to the unknown, because, like, everybody that we know that we're close to, that knows us personally, and that knows everything about us, and that has been with us through different experiences in life, know that, like, we know and feel that they're with us through that period. Yeah, absolutely. And so I feel like, I know that if I fall straight on my face at this new job, I'm going to have Lauren and Ash and my family there to pick me back up and encourage me towards next steps. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the fun part, because it really does give you that push. It does give you that, you know what? I watched my friend fall on her face, let me step off this rock and fall on my face. At least take the trust factor and be like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it too.
If my friend jumps off a cliff, I'm right behind her. Yep. I'm doing a pencil dive into that.
Yeah. So I think it's just like guiding each other, learning from each other, and we did a whole episode on the circle and how to create the people around you, and go listen to that episode. It's really good.
It is really good.
And so I think that everything kind of factors into this too of, the fear they have known, like, is only holding you back. Like, it's only stopping you. Your mind is stopping you. So
recap. Life is scary, but you can do it.
Just go do it. Yeah. Shout out Nike. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Anyways, but you good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us on this episode as we are on St. Patrick's Day today.
Celebration.
Yay.
Go drink or eat something green.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't get pinched.
Don't get pinched.
Don't get pinched.
Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and feel free to reach out to us what we should talk about next.
Yeah.
We need more ideas, guys. Come on.
Give us ideas, please.
Yes. But follow us
on Instagram and TikTok at podcast.personalopinion and
Facebook and YouTube at Personal Opinion Podcast.
Beautifully done.
Meow. And so, we hope to see you guys next week. And
Happy
also,
Monday.
or whatever day you're watching this podcast. Not just Monday. Oh, also, feel free to reach out to us. Text us if you know us. DM us. Email
if you want to reach
us.
out to me, call me.
Text me. Yeah.
Call me.
Anyways, we are here for you guys, and I've got your back, Whit.
I've got your back, Lauren.
And we've got your back.
And we love you, and we appreciate you.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hey.